Yo. This might be a short video. I'm doing shadow work. If you don't know what shadow work is, it's just understanding yourself, understanding the shadow part of yourself, the unconscious part of yourself, not the conscious, because you understand the conscious part is like the self-awareness, the logical part, things like that, kind of like the things that you are aware of, and the unconscious part is like the things that you act on that you might not know why you did it. Kind of like lying. Lying is one of them. You will lie and you might not really truly understand why you lied. So you have to really kind of reflect and try to figure out why you might be lying, and it could go all the way back to when you was a kid and you got away with lying one time, so you think that it's just the right thing to do when in reality it's not. And one of those things that I've come to realize that was inside of my unconscious mind was me not being emotionally aware. I have awareness, but becoming like, and I have emotional intelligence, but becoming emotionally aware of why you feel emotional. Because like understanding your emotions and understanding why you become emotional is two different things. Like you can understand, okay, I was mad because of this, and this, but why did you get mad? Those are two completely different things. You can get mad at something because of the way they were acting, or the way that you might have not have acted in that situation, so it could have made you mad because of the perspective that you had on it. But truly understanding what even got you to that point of madness is where I am right now. And one of those things where I kind of like lack in that understanding of my emotions is it came from when I was a child. And one of the things were that I was taught as a kid was like, hold up, let me zoom out. One of the things that I was taught as a kid, is, what was I gonna say? Oh, you better stop crying before I give you a reason to cry. Bro, that in itself, now that I'm a little bit older and I kind of understand, like, and I'm understanding my emotions and why I even feel a certain type of way, because I understand myself. I'm understanding myself, and the only reason I'm even being able to understand myself is because I create businesses, like I create things that I want for myself, but it's kind of hard to maintain if I don't understand myself. And one of those things where one of the things that you have to understand while leveling up yourself, leveling up your avatar, leveling up what frequency you're on, is understanding the emotional awareness that goes into it. Yes, you can be emotional and intelligent to the point where you understand what is making you do certain things, but in a sense you really can't blame the things that's outside of you. You have to really go inside of yourself and actually understand what is making you feel this way, and why is it making you feel this way. Yes, you can understand why, or you can understand what's making you feel this way, but why? You get what I'm saying? Like I said, one of those things was, you better not cry, or you better stop crying before I give you a reason to cry. If you black, nigga, you understand. Nigga, like, this shit is it's no joke. That was one of them things where it helped me become numb. Numb, like, to my emotions. In a sense, I didn't necessarily care why I felt like I wanted to cry. I understood what made me stop crying. I understood the emotions behind me not crying, or me about to cry, but I never really was able to ask myself why, because I was told not to do it. I was told to avoid that. I was told to stop crying before I give you a reason to cry. And things like that, that's not even the only thing, but it's multiple things like that where we were taught to avoid our emotions. We were taught to avoid things of that sort, and we really never understand. We understand what makes us feel this way, and we understand why we feel this way, but we understand what makes us feel this way, but we never understand why we feel this way, and we never understand it because we were taken away from it, if that makes sense. Kind of like when you're a kid, like, and you feel sad, or you feel happy, you feel this, you feel that, but when the authority or the person that's above you strips that emotion away from you, you never really necessarily have time to process that emotion, to understand why you even feel this way. So naturally, as an adult, we try to, in a sense, well, we don't even try to, because we were raised this way. We naturally ignore this emotion. We naturally think it's not the right thing to do because this is what we were taught, and because of that understanding of self that we have, we naturally neglect it, and that's not the right way to go. You have to understand why you feel certain types of ways. Like, you have to, especially if you want to build something, because if you are simply neglecting that part of yourself, then that part of yourself will continue to show up. It will continue to show up. It's going to continue to show up every single time you try to do whatever you are trying to do. Perhaps if you want to build a business, but you're scared to build a business because of fear, but you were never taught to understand that emotion of fear, because every single time you felt fear, they just pushed you in. Instead of, yeah, you might not be scared of that simple thing no more, but you didn't take the time to really understand why you was scared in that moment and overcome that, so you can learn how to manage this one part, and this one part that you learn how to manage, you can manage every other part the same way. But we were never taught that, because we were told to stop crying before I give you a reason to cry. We were told to do stuff not on our own behalf, but because they forced it on us, in a sense, kind of. And you kind of have to, in a sense, take that part of your life back. And although it wasn't you that took it away, in a sense it was, but although it wasn't, because you were just a kid and they took it away from you, in a sense of, hey, you keep crying, like I gave you a reason to cry, I would give you a real reason to cry. Like we really never really sat down with ourselves as kids, or our parents really never sat down with us as kids to really understand our emotions. And we are, as adults, my nigga, as adults, we are living that same way, trying to beat the odds, but we can't even beat ourselves, because we still neglecting certain parts of ourselves that pops up in our adult life that we don't know how to manage, because we were not taught as kids. You get what I'm saying? We understand why we feel this way, but we really truly don't understand how to overcome this feeling, because we were taught to neglect it. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, like, you just need to talk to your inner child, bro. In a sense, love yourself. Even the parts that you don't see, even the parts that you can't necessarily truly understand why. Just because you don't understand why doesn't mean that it's not for you to understand, because you understand everything. You just have to kind of challenge the thought, challenge the belief, understand that you were taught wrong. Everyone was taught wrong. We were lied to as kids. We were lied to as adults. We are still lied to every single day. The media lied to us, my nigga. But the last thing you want to do is lie to yourself. And as we are growing up, and as we are the new founding adults and the new teenagers, and we're like, we have to love ourselves. We have to love each and every part of ourselves. Understanding that the emotional part, we might not know how to, in a sense, manage it, but sit with it. Understand that we were taught wrong, and understand that the things that continuously pop up into your life, that could be emotional things, it could be just reflection of the things that's within inside of your reality, that is just reflecting the inner side of you into your reality. Understand, if these things keep popping up, like fear of something, sadness of something, this makes you feel this way, this makes you feel this way, is simply because of the inner child that we were taught to neglect, or we were taught to not necessarily put a lot of attention towards, because as kids we were taught if we was to do this, this is wrong, when it's really not. It's just us being us, but we were told to neglect that part of us. You get what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all getting what I'm saying, bro. Like, really love yourself, bro. One of the things that I could just think of is, you better stop crying before I give you a reason to cry. That shit gotta be universal. That shit universal, I'm already knowing. And that was definitely not a way to help us understand why we even feel this way. Like, when you have kids, don't threaten them to make them cry. If they're crying, help them understand the emotion behind it. Help them understand, or you try to help, you understand your child. Try to figure out why your child is even crying, so you can help him or her figure out the emotion behind it, so they can get over it instead of neglecting it. So when that time does come, when they're adults, they know how to get over it instead of neglecting it, because neglecting it isn't going to fix the problem. It's not. It's only going to continue to arise each and every time that you neglect it in a different situation. You're going to keep asking yourself, why am I scared of this? Why am I scared of this? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Why? Because you never was taught to learn how to, in a sense, overcome it. It's you. But we are trying to neglect that part of us, the unconscious part, because we were told that it was wrong as kids, when in reality, learning how to overcome it is really what we were supposed to be doing as kids into adulthood, so we can learn how to love thyself. Thank you.